welcome to today's session, the Talks Talk with me, Kemodo HSC, the son of Metumi. Here is another beautiful day, the first day of the month, yet with quite some sorrowful and discouraging news. And today's session, we want to start by giving a message of condolences to all the families, the friends of all those who lost their lives, and all those who are affected by the Nithi bridge accident. Also, we want to give our condolences to the traders and all those involved in the Gara gas explosion, and may these families, the friends, all those affected have peace in their hearts and peace in their lives to be able to handle the tragic news that we woke up to today, and hope that something will be done from the government regarding all these accidents and tragedies. Today, I want us to focus on the promises made by the government, and maybe by the governments that have been there in the government of the day, regarding the Nithi bridge. There was an utterance and a promise made to the people of that area back in 2023 regarding the Nithi bridge, and it is quite unfortunate that it takes this long to fix things, and you even wonder why do we have to make promises that we know will take years? Why shouldn't we start the job, and maybe as we move on, make the promises that we need, that make sense and that are appropriate in terms of timing and in terms of work done and efforts made towards these promises. The Nithi bridge is quite an unfortunate turn of events this year, and we also had an issue with the Ken Silver bus that had an accident around the same places. Is quite a sensitive place, especially for those people who don't, those drivers who don't use that road a lot. We may urge for every driver that for every new place that you go, make sure that you move with the utmost carefulness on the road. You never know. You might be doing the right thing, but things happen wrong, and it is very unfortunate on the government to make promises that take too long to actualize, and this is one of them. And the common mwananchi is being hurt by how you realize that how fast the state house renovation came into place. How did they go about making sure that the state house renovation takes place, bearing in mind Ruto was not even 2 years into that place. Whoever was there was still comfortable with the place, and within a year we had allocated maybe I stand corrected on this, around 19 billion, and a lot of things done. Yes, they are worthy, it looks nice, it looks beautiful, but it is good to realize that the president or whoever holds that the house on the hill is there to serve the people. The people should come first, and it is very unfortunate that we found money to allocate to such project, but we did not find money to allocate to such a project like the Nithi bridge. I keep talking about the Keno Marwa. If you see the amount of time taken uh, to build or to construct the Kenomarua road to the point it is today. It was quite satisfactory given the far it has come since this administration took over, and it looks like they have forgotten about them. Their priorities are somewhere else. It is very unfortunate. I'll keep repeating this, that even when you check at the cabinet secretaries and the constitution gives from 14 to 21 cabinet secretaries, and you can be very sure that whoever chose 14 knew very well that it would work with 14. Given our current circumstances in terms of recurrent expenditure, in terms of the money we spend on paying salaries, monies we spend in maintenance of these services, we could have gone for around 15 or maybe 16 and allowed and made sure that whatever savings we made from the balance, we put it somewhere resourceful. But then you realize, even sometimes people argue that even if we did with 15, we could have not found the money for that would have been spent on salaries for the rest to do development. It is quite sad that we are we are normalizing corruption and wastage of resources that are meant to work for us. It is quite unfortunate. Looking at the Gara gas explosion, quite another unfortunate incident, and you will wonder why these gas stations are around the residential areas. They are not given some space to allow. Maybe you'll find that in school there is a fire assembly point. You wonder what the government is doing about these gas stations. They are everywhere. They act like they want to protect the people in regards of this. Realizing the other day the Embakasi incident, gas incident. For now, you realize they will want to work in a week. There will be a lot of commotion to try and show like they are working on it, but in real sense, very very minimal work is done. You realize that around the country there have been set up so many gas stations, but wherever there have been stations, you realize that it is around residential areas. That in any case, in a case of an accident, there is little to no space to allow the management of the crisis at that point. For example, Gara was very unfortunate given the circumstances. The area it was in, traders have lost a lot of a lot of things. You can be sure that in this week there is someone who is starting the month or the week with nowhere to hustle, nowhere to cry, because you realize the government is not really into helping the people come up again, and it is very unfortunate. We should make sure that as a people we protect ourselves, as well hold the government accountable for their utterances they made, and for their interests they should look into. For example, the two instances we have talked about, the Nithi Bridge. There was a promise made by Ruto in 2023. It's a year now. Nothing has been done. No site work. No, you realize it is no updates on the progress and the accidents are still happening near the bridge. And maybe these are the ones, major ones we get to know. Maybe there are other accidents that have happened, and maybe people consider like a small accident. It is very unfortunate. It should be looked into. The road itself, it's quite narrow. They should find a way to that. They should also find a way to make sure, maybe before then, before whatever they are promising to be done, they should find a way to make sure that they control the traffic around that place, and make sure they safeguard the people of Kenya in regards to that. And not only that place, and any other place that they consider a risk to motorists, a risk to the to people in regards traffic, every other place. It is quite unfortunate that we are finding time to politic about things of no importance, and utterances on top of vehicles, shouting all sorts of promises, knowing very well some of these promises might never see light of day. They might never see the light of day. But you see, in the last episode I made I know that the problems we are facing today, some of these problems, we have brought it upon ourselves. Some of these we are the audiences that are out there clapping on these promises, where we know very well it is just a PR stunt, knowing very well that we sometimes get paid to show up in these rallies. It is quite unfortunate for you. It is because of that 500 bob. You think it is not. For them, it is a picture, to paint a picture in the media, to show the kind of support which pushes some people to think that all is okay, and it pushes an agenda and a narrative to the international communities that yes, this guy is doing something. And in real sense, we have to stop this. We have to stop being part of destroying our society and slowing development down. We should not be part of bringing down our country in the name of 500 shillings, in the name of 200 shillings, just to show up at a rally that doesn't add any importance to our lives and maybe to our society. Because you will realize that, what do you do with that 500? You find some people have gone a long way to show up in those rallies. For them to get there, they have used around 100 bob in terms of transport. Yes, someone has paid a motorbike maybe 100 bob to get there, so you are left with 400. Now pay the transport to get back home, it's another 100, 200. Well, by the time you're getting home, it is 300. And maybe along the way, because you're so happy, you're so waiting for this muhesh to come, you spend more from your pocket. By the end of the day, you find yourself with 100 shillings. Some people are paid even 100 bob. What will 100 bob to you'd rather, you quite try to understand that some people are idle. But what about those who are not idle and have something else to do, but they want to rush to get these 500 shillings? We should make sure, if our society, if our environment, if our jobs are made to work for us, to give us profit, to give us enough money to sustain ourselves, you won't even think to move out of your business, to move out of where you get money, where you get bread, to run to get 500 shillings. Some people are taking the risk. Mtu atasema nitakaa hapa kuoni how much money will I earn in 2 hours. I would rather run there, get 500 for 1 hour, then come go on with my business, because the business is not right now suffering. So you consider every chance there. But it is it is hurting our society. It is hurting our tomorrow. It is hurting our development. It is hurting the narrative that instead of us doing something good, it is bringing us backward in terms of development. We must stop this being part of this agenda or mobilization to send a narrative. We should ask for the things that help us. The other time during the 2022 elections, you realize that Ruto was walking around with the bundles of cash. At one point, I will talk about what I have seen. I don't want to talk about hearsay. Just around our hometown in Moranga, he gave out 50,000 cash. PR 50,000 cash. If you maybe sum up all the monies that maybe Ruto is being said to give, it is quite a lot. It would do great things. But in this country, we have monetized elections to a point that without money, he won't be elected. Without money, no one will listen to the agendas to help that society, to help your society, to help the country grow in a big way. We must shun from this and move away from this and stop being a part of bringing down our society and bringing down our country. You have to look at something else. And it is quite unfortunate when we talk about the politics of betrayal to hoodwink the masses. It is just the same people around power. Right now, I made a post the other day on Facebook on how deputy president should be respected, and I'm a quite supporter of deputy president Rigathi Gachagua. Given where he's come from, I salute him. It is not easy. He's not been around this around these corridors of politics. Not on the forefront. At least we can see it's from behind the scenes. One time a member of parliament, and now first time deputy president. He's serving in this government directly for the second time. You have to allow him to make some mistakes. He will learn, and he is good. I believe he is good at it. He will learn. You realize people like Kimani Ichung'wah have been in these corridors of politics. They are at the forefront as an MP, at the forefront in terms of party politics for too long. You expect them to be jailers, extremely jailers, for newcomers to come and maybe hope them and move forward and move much faster than them. And it is quite unfortunate for people like Kimani Ichung'wah to act the way he's acting, and he looks like a person who is being used to banter the deputy president on behalf of someone else, and it is quite unfortunate. In a tour where they tried to hush the bad politics, he comes up with some petty politics to bash the deputy president. It is about time people like Kimani Ichung'wah should style up and maybe stop this personal hatred towards individuals. He's the only one now speaking. He's quite an element that led to the reject finance bill because of his loud mouth. And let us stop at that. But you realize that these people are the same people around power. We need fresh minds. We need fresh individuals who can inject the necessary ideas in this government. You realize Ruto is not new to government. Raila is not new to government. They pretend to compete, but in real sense, there's now it is just them having fun in a race, having fun in a race. It is two friends or three friends telling each other, how fast can you run? No, I can run faster than you, so let's run. We will find some people to cheer us around. Let's run. You need motivation to run. Let's run. It is quite some sort of that thing, and it is the same people, the same friends, the same people who we have seen time and again, and we expect them to do different things. And the few people that are absorbed into government and into politics to make some changes, they are being absorbed and then blackmailed, or just wameuziwa woga to making sure that they slow them down. It is like they are being told, hapana, huwezi enda haraka hivyo, you don't do things that way, slow down, wacha kushow off, slow down your developments, slow down, you need to keep pace. The elders don't want this, then they need you to slow down. It is quite unfortunate the young leaders we put in there are nowhere to be seen. Quite from a few who are trying to make some strides, but you realize that there is a back and forth, and we hope that maybe one day we should find a breakthrough for this. And I want to talk about Morara. Any day, I would vote for Morara for president. Morara Kebaso for president. He doesn't have quite a bad reputation. It is a fresh mind. Some people are complaining so much that Morara is being funded, but I want to ask. Morara has a family. Morara has responsibilities. Morara has a life. He needs to pay bills. He needs to live. He needs to eat. He needs to drink. He needs to stay healthy. He needs a working health status. So what is so wrong by being funded? If he's being funded to continue with the good work, what is the problem? What is the problem with Morara being funded? It is quite unfortunate that the government apologists would just pick up a very silly, I want to call it a very silly agenda to bash Morara for the good work he's doing, instead of telling us the facts. Morara is pointing out at live facts. Come and tell us that Morara said this on this, but the plans are underway. We are here. This is the money allocated. This is the reason why it was being relaunched. And no one is explaining to the country why we should relaunch a project once, twice, thrice. No one is explaining to the country why we should allocate money in two different ways. We allocate 500 million at launch 1, and we allocate 15 billion at launch 2. What has changed? Explain to Kenyans that at 500 million, when launching this project, we launched for 3 phases or maybe 1 phase. But for the relaunch, we are relaunching it at 15 billion for maybe 10 phases, or 10 within 10 approaches, and maybe bringing new things. But then you have to tell us what the 500 million did and what's the progress of the 500 million. No one is coming out with those facts. Just mere PR, abuses here, and we have you have to be sure that these people are feeling threatened by how Morara has come up. I would vote for Morara any day. I would vote for Morara for president. I would pray, and I'm praying for Morara for his safety and for him to continue the good work he's doing for this country. The work that would have been done by the legislator, the legislators. The parliament has failed. The national parliament has failed. The Senate has failed. The EACC has failed. The opposition is normal, has failed. The political class is eating right, left, and center to hush and to not to speak about these projects. Mora is doing it for us. He's not doing it for the government. You have been employed by the government to protect it, maybe to defend it in terms of ideas and maybe in terms of narratives. Do your work. I don't think protecting the government by abusing Mora or maybe by downgrading Mora by any way is what the government agenda is. It is very unfortunate for people like the State House spokesperson would come out on national TV to rush out at Mora. Mora was very calm, but whatever met him was very loudy. It was not nice. Let us not go into the nitty-gritties of that interview. Also, what happened, and you realize that in this mandamano things and the narrative going on, it is more so like they are not funded narratives to make us slow down or wait, or maybe not dwell on an issue too much. It is quite unfortunate that the people of Kenya, some people, let me use that, some people are not ready to go all the way to protect this country, and it is very unfortunate. But for the few, it's quite a thumbs up. I would want to call out on every person, on every patriot, in every small way that you can. My small way is these sessions. My small way is this channel that of the Talk Stock. That is my small way. I have taken up my time. I have taken up my energy. I have taken up the few resources I could, and put up this channel to try and maybe educate and maybe do some little civic education. Maybe put word out that I am not in support of what the government is doing, government of the day. And when it does right, we will come here and say that the government is doing right. In your small way, make time, make an effort to make sure that you speak out against these atrocities to our society, to our nation, to our country. We must join hands. We must support people like Morara Kebaso. We must use our voices. And this is where I want to go to how the Gen Z movement and the leaders recklessness messed up. It was okay. It attained. It had some achievements, great achievements, especially with the fall of the finance bill. But after that, there would have been a way to make sure that we have a leadership or a structure to coordinate the movement. Right now, it is quite normal. It is suffered a stillbirth just because we wanted to push a narrative of the leaders. And you realize that whoever was pushing that leaders that was happening more so in Twitter Spaces, these people, some of these people are just cloud chasers. Where are they now? They don't want to support an individual like Morara Kebaso. Selfishness. We should be supporting Morara Kebaso. The same people who are speaking against this regime in these Twitter Spaces and who are very vocal, they should take up stuffs like what Morara Kebaso. A lot was said on audits, but a lot was not done in terms of audits. just saying. Whatever was happening in these Twitter spaces were more of saying, and mandamano. We focused on things that were bringing us down in this movement. It is now time. Time is ripe for every Kenyan to do audit wherever you are, to raise your voice, make your voice heard. Do you need to inspect those projects that were maybe opened by the president and were never fulfilled, like Morara Kebaso is doing? Do it in your counties. Do it in your constituencies. Do it in your wards. Let us join hands and let us call out their lies, and bring in the truth. That is the only way we shall win this battle. We can't stay and just keep quiet. We must focus on what and how to bring our country forward. I hope next time that we engage in these Twitter spaces, we must also engage in tangible things that can be seen, things that can relate well with everyone, not only those on Twitter spaces, not only the other. On my last episode, I was talking about how we have the people who regard themselves as learned, and they want to seclude the people they consider as not learned, but they want to bring forward agendas of revolution and maybe a movement on Twitter spaces, and then they want to bring it out to the street, and they want to call out the not learned for not joining them. You did not incorporate them when you are making the decisions to go to the streets. For you to make sure that you and them, they are Kenyans. They might not be learned, but they are Kenyans. These are matters to do with the country. They are not matters to do with our education and how far we've got with our education. So, on that note, let us make sure that we join our hands and maybe we focus on what's important, and maybe focus and making and building this nation. Let us not be hoodwinked by a politician, the political elite. Why can't we support Morara? Like we have been made to believe that it is a money thing to lead. Let us think otherwise and bring in new leaders, and bring in a new crop of leaders that think about this country and to move this country forward. That is it for today. Thank you. Until next time, see ya.